Hi there, welcome to Navigating Graduate School YouTube channel. My name is Ebenezer, and if today is your first time visiting my channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can study in the US for free. And I'm going to talk about only one thing. And if you follow this principle, there is only one principle you can follow to study in the US for free, and there's no magic in getting admission with full funding. And that principle is very easy, and but it involves a lot of work. It is easy, but it involves a lot of work. And the principle is that you have to do your research. Yes, it might sound trivial, okay? It might sound some way. Uh, it's common, everybody says it, but how well do you do your research? If you want to study a PhD, master's program, or undergraduate studies, which work do you put in the application? Which work do you put in searching for schools and programs? Okay, do you just look at the program, look at the application requirement, and you start applying? If you just do that, then you are always going to be getting rejections or partial funding. Okay, and I'm going to please just follow these tips. Okay, follow these tips I'm giving you, and I think everything will work out. 2027, you have to get admission. This is 2026, and by this time you should be preparing to put in your application. You apply in 2026, then in 2027 your admission will be ready with full funding. So please put in these strategies and keys I'm coming to give you if you want to study in the US for free. It is no magic. You can do it, just do your due diligence. So I said the key is what? Do your research. Do your research. What do I mean by do your research? First of all, before you apply to study in the US, before you apply to study or you apply to a specific program in a specific university, please, you have to first of all look out for their application requirement or admission requirement. What does the program require before they can admit a student? Okay, if you are interested in, let's say, a PhD in environmental health at, let's say, Indiana University Bloomington, you go to the program's website, look out for the application requirement or admission requirement. What materials do you need to apply to the university? So first of all, you will need for a PhD or master's, you will need a CV, you need your transcript, you need to write a statement of purpose or personal statement. Okay, do you have to submit a test score? Is it compulsory or it is optional? If you meet this requirement, perfect. The next thing you need to do is to look out for whether the program offer funding for admitted students. This is very important. After you meet the application or admission requirement, the next step when you visit a program's website is for you to look out for funding. Do they offer funding for admitted students? Great. And if they offer funding for admitted students, that is great. Yes, that's great, But if it is not stated categorically on their website, the next process or the next step you need to do is to email program coordinators or the program chair and ask about funding for admitted students. Does the program, do they give funding for admitted students? And based on the response, then you can move to the next step. Some program for PhD applicants, some program will say that we do not accept students who have not contacted a professor who is willing to accept them into their lab. When this is stated categorically on their website, then you don't have to you have to go through that process by emailing professors. And after you email the professors and some give you a green light that you can apply to their program, or let's have a Zoom call, and based on the Zoom call, then based on the Zoom call, you can decide whether to apply or not. Okay, these are strategies you have to use. Okay, based on the response from the program coordinator, then you can start your application. You can start the process. Now, before, if you meet the application requirement, you look out for funding opportunities, and then whether contacting the professors or not, then now you go to the next step, that is gathering your application requirement, gathering your application materials. Now, in preparing or gathering your application materials, some of them are very important. For example, statement of purpose or personal statement. Now, every university or program requires that sometimes they give what we call prompt. If you are writing a statement of purpose, some programs, most programs in the US or even Canada, they give you prompt, some basic things you need to highlight in your statement of purpose. For example, why the program, why this university, your career goals, what you want to achieve when you get accepted into the program, why this professor's lab, why do you want to work with this specific faculty member. You have to address all this in your statement of purpose, and these are prompt. Okay, do you follow their guidelines? For example, the number of words. Okay, the number of words, maybe you will say 500 words. Okay, statement of purpose, some will say not more than 1,000 words. Okay, so if you are writing, you have to follow. Some of them even go to the extent of telling you whether double space, single space, the font size, the font style, or some of the programs are very specific, and you need to follow these key guidelines. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. Okay, so studying the US for free is easy, but you have to do your research. That is the key. There's no key anywhere. The key is that you have to do your research. You have to put in the work. Okay, another research you have to do to enable you get funding as an international student, or anyone if you are applying to study in the US or Canada, is to sometimes visit the program's website. Let's say for PhD and master student, most professors, after they admit student, they put the student name and their profile on their website. One key strategy I used was that any program that I'm interested in, I look out for students that have been admitted into the program, and I look through their profile. I look out for some of even state their GPA that got them accepted into the program. The student, did they have the kind of skills or they highlighted in their CVs, and whether they had some publications. This will give you a fair idea. Okay, when you do this, you see that you yourself, when you do it, you will know. When there's a green light here means that the chance of your admission is very high. You will know. Okay, if your chance of getting admission is low too, you will know. And if it is low, sometimes you don't need to apply. And if you are still interested in that program, you have to sit back and improve on your application. Are there some skill sets that I need to develop? Are there some lab experiences I need to get? Are there some papers? Do I have to convert my thesis that I've written into a manuscript and submit it to a journal, a peer-reviewed journal for publication? Okay, these are some of the key things you have to do. You have to put in the work. Don't just visit a program's website and start, because you are interested in the program, then you start applying. If you do that, you always waste your resources, application fees, and you just get frustrated. You have to take your time, plan, prepare, do your research. If you do your research, you plan and you prepare, and then you decide whether to apply to the program or not based on all your research. You put things together, put it on paper, and then analyze what. Okay, you have to be very strategic. Studying, applying to study to get applying to the US and getting or studying for free is both science and, will I say, a gamble. Yeah, because it's science, because first of all you have to do your research, because some things are clear, they write it boldly there. And it is a gamble because it is a numbers game, depending on also the number of applicants they receive and how competitive their application is. Okay, so sometimes some of the rejections we from our side as an applicant or as prospective applicant, from your point or from your side, you can avoid rejections and you can avoid those partial funding or no funding issue based on your due diligence, based on the work you put in your research. So doing your research, for me, is the key to studying for free in the US, UK, or wherever you are applying to. If you disagree with me and you think otherwise, you can leave your comment in the comment section. And if you have any question, please leave it in the comment section and I'll be glad to respond to your questions. And please remember that you only need a 1 year to study in the US, and you can study in the US or Canada for free if you do your research. Thank you for watching this video and see you in my next video. Stay blessed and bye bye.